Okay, so the easiest way that I've found to turn the K-cups into the root baskets, I had some tape over this to keep the coffee grounds from pouring out, but you're going to want to make an X twice, overlapping each other, north, south, east, west, and then your partial cardinal directions. Also, you'll find out as you cut into these, they lose stability real quick, so I find that it's easiest to just leave the whole thing intact until you're done cutting. The end result is going to look like this. I still have yet to take the coffee grounds out of this, but that's pretty much what we're going for. As you can see, coffee grounds are going everywhere. Still, this tape is not working very good. So anyways, let's get to it. So I start from not the very center, but from that little lip, and that's where I make the cut down. So it's going to look something like that. Okay, and then we're going to do that 7 more times. And these aren't going to be pretty, a lot of them. They're not going to look perfect by any means, but they function, which that is all we need. And actually it's not 8 cuts, I'm sorry, it's 16. So you've got your 8 cuts established, and then you're going to want to do it in between those. And that's how you can get that really meshy look. You could get away with doing it 8 times, and then you would have 4 holes. This way you actually have 8 grate, and then I have a centerpiece cut out there. So we'll continue on. Right in between those, be careful if you're using something sharp. I also saw a video where a guy did it with he was using yogurt cups, which is a really good idea, but he was using a soldering iron, which, you know, whatever you have handy, either way, just be careful with what you're doing. Okay, now you're going to want to start cutting every other slit. You're going to want to cut in between the slit, and then that'll allow you to pull it out. We'll do the big one here instead of the small one. So that's going to be 1. Make these a little bit longer. Kind of working at a funny angle here to make sure you guys can see it. Then there's 2, and I messed up a little on that one, so we'll see if I can get that through, just barely. There's another one. You can see it's it's losing stability here because it's been hacked on, so. This is really kind of thin, cheap plastic, but it still works. That's the key there, is it still works. And, you know, I don't know how long these will last. You know, they may start to break down after a couple months of being submerged in water and partially decomposed, but I think they'll last a while. I'm not really too worried. Besides, they're K-cups, so you can get them for free a lot of times because people just throw them away, which is awesome. That, you know, find something useful to do with something somebody else is going to throw away. Alright, so there you go. There you've got the the gist of it. And then you'll just cut all these out. Once you cut all these out, then you'll have your basket. And inside this basket is where you're gonna set your little starter pod or your growth medium. You could probably put some pebbles in there or some sand. Obviously with the sand, you're gonna wanna have some kind of basket for that to sit in. I really just recommend using those starting pellets because they'll sit right in there. Your roots will grow out through the bottom of the starter pellet and right into the water. So that's how you do that.